Mama say, mama say, mama kusa. Mama say, mama say, mama kusa.
Mama say, mama say, mama kusa. Michael Jackson in the house. This queen is too much.
Oh.
She's wearing a queen t-shirt and look at that. Boom. It just...
With my imaginary crown, okay? Well, my hair's my crown, but
you see what happens when you wear something and it manifests? So I'm going to wear something that says billionaire.
Exactly, because you start acting, every time you see the word, you're going to start acting like one.
Hello. Matter of fact, I really wish I was a billionaire because the situation that's going on in Texas right now, doesn't it make you...
It makes me wish like I could have somewhere to, accept, those Haitians that, well, my people, basically have a place for them to get shelter, to get, food, to be able to, like, my thing is like, it's so one-sided. Like, everything is so one-sided when it comes to Blacks, and then now you have Haitians. It's so one-sided. Like, because we look at all the Irish people that were able to come back in the days. We'll look at what is it? Some of those refugees running away from. Hold on,
Italians, all of them came.
All of them came, and they got accepted. They got accepted, and you telling me these people running on horses? Like, I saw the post and I was in tears. Like, you mean to tell me you're whipping someone that's trying to run away, and it's not because they're escaping the law because they did something wrong. They're trying to find shelter. They're seeking asylum, and you're telling me,
girl, hold that thought, because we gotta say hello to everybody who's tuning in to check us out today. Yeah, I'm here with the beautiful lady D. Don't she look lovely? I am like feeling oh my gosh, yes, honey, all that in a bag of chips. So
and I'm here with the amazing dazzling Dad.
It's too much. Just too much. But welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to our conversation. We're just going to talk about what...
Do you guys see? This is why you don't go on live. Look at this.
You guys have questions, comments. Please share, because we want to hear those kind of feedbacks, because what is happening right now...
You guys see what's going on with my hair?
I was not referring to that, though. I was not referring to what is going on right there. Oh, shout out to D2.
Papa Doc.
CEO still.
Wherever you are, shout out to you, my guy. Haitian natif natal.
But yes, girl, you've been seeing the news though, right? All this drama happening centered around the Haitians. Like, are we gonna get a break? It's back to back to back to back to back to back. Like, at this point, I feel like, I don't know what's happening in Texas, Rio Grande. It's definitely dehumanizing. Like, at this point, it's one thing, like you were just saying, like all these other people came in, we took them. As a matter of fact, we just had the issues with the Taliban in Afghanistan, right? So they took all these thousands and thousanders of Afghans and no issue. But then the Haitians, they showed up, they turned them right back around. I hear more things are about to take more people out. So last Tuesday, was it yesterday? Yeah, Monday or Tuesday, they took about 86 of them back to Haiti. The issue with that was these guys didn't even know they were being deported back to Haiti.
Right. They told them that they were going to take them to this priest house, and they were going to get some phone cards so they can call their family and stuff like that, and then like they'll be like then they'll get transportation to be able to go back home where they came from or whatever. But then when they actually realized they were in Haiti.
Yeah, there was one guy, I don't remember his name, but he was doing well in Brazil. I think he was either from Brazil or Chile. He was doing fairly well over there, doing his little thing. And so he figures, there's this opportunity to come to America, drops everything to come to America, and now he's back deported to Haiti, starting from scratch, where he has nobody, no money, no nothing. It's like he would have been better off staying in Brazil, where at least
where he was
up for him, Brazil or Chile, where things was, you know, he was sustaining himself. Now it's like you're starting from scratch. Like, I don't even know if he has anybody in Haiti.
Right. And you have to start all over in a country with no president, no security, no food. When they got into Haiti, it was this young woman. She had an interview and she said that, like, she was one of the people that actually said that, okay, I didn't even know I was going to be back on the plane to go home. And she said when she got there, they gave them 300 good.
Wow.
They give them 300 good. How much is 300 good equivalent to here? Like what?
Oh
10?
my gosh.
Is it $10? Huh?
Single is $1 US. So
like, I think it's like $10, $15.
Well, whatever it is,
it's
like one Happy Meal worth.
Exactly. And you mean to tell me this is a lady with her family and stuff like that, and then they got deported in a country where, because they were actually here since they were young. Well, they went to Chile and Brazil since they were young, and now she's back in a country where she doesn't have anyone. Like, all of these people, they don't know where they're gonna sleep. They don't know, like, some of them don't even have any family that they remember. And they have to go back to that situation. But the most heartbreaking thing she said was that little girls of 12 years, 13 years are getting raped.
Ooh.
They got raped on the way. She said she had a little girl with her. It was God that actually made it that that little girl didn't get raped with her. And it was just like, I was horrified. I'm still horrified because,
yeah, I can't even watch everything. It's so heartbreaking, especially this picture going around of them getting whipped with that horseman and stuff. Like, I'm like, what? Like, these people are just there for media purposes. How about we actually help? And, you know, we had this situation before, excuse me, back with the Dominicans. I don't know, you probably don't remember this, but it was a couple of years back where a couple of years, I want to say maybe 2014, they were trying to send all the Haitians back from Dominican Republic, from the DR. And that's around the time where I wanted to go visit DR, and all of that happened and everybody was boycotting everything. And so I was like, I can't go over there when you're doing my peoples like that. You know, and then they were shipping them back. I think if they were born by a certain year, and half of the people they were shipping back were literally like, even though they are of Haitian descent, but they've been gone for so long, like 50 years into the country and things like that, already gave their sweat and tears and helping and doing whatever it was to sustain themselves over there. And then just like that, you whip them out. But then this massive group of Haitians, this mass deportation showed up, but Haiti didn't even have a system to get them back in. It's like, who are you? They can't even look you up to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess you are, you know? And then now I'm seeing this same thing is about to happen again, and we still don't have that system in place to track people down or have them set up. You know, I think that's one of the things that I think we should probably focus on making sure we have, so that when stuff like that happens, as you can see, it happened before, it's happening now, there's a good chance it will happen again. So it's like, how are we doing when it comes to preparedness for Haiti? But right now we can't even catch a break because it's one issue after another. It's one issue after another. So right now with the US, it is I was thinking it is Hispanic History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month to all of the Hispanics out there. I know there are some Haitian Hispanics too. And I'm hoping, you know, the Mexican won't be doing our brothers and sisters wrong over there, because it is your Heritage Month. You know, do some good. Do some good. Celebrate them. Right. You know? I think it started on the 15th of this month, and it's going to end on the 15th of October. Their stuff is kind of weird because it starts halfway in. But anyways, so with the situation happening now, all I'm trying to think is, where are Haitian people? Like, why are we not already raiding down in Texas? It's one thing when stuff is happening in Haiti and you're afraid to travel there. But this is the US now. What's the excuse for not going over there? Right? And I don't know how the international laws work, but I do know that how they were deporting some of those guys out there, it made no sense, because some of them were saying they didn't ask them for anything. Because I think you're supposed to sign something to let you know that you are being deported. Nothing. I was watching Guy Wewe. Oh, shout out to Guy Wewe. I don't know if you guys watch Guy Wewe or anything like that. He's a Haitian journalist. And he's actually out there, and he decided to go out from his own pocket to buy some of these people plane tickets to ship them wherever they have family members throughout the US. I thought that was such a good deed. I don't know who else is helping him out. I think he gave a shout out to this doctor. I'll think of his name and bring it back. So I thought that was very nice. Like, they went out there, they brought them food. Some of the ladies who are pregnant and with small children, they allow them to cross over to the US section. So the others are like probably still under the bridge, but the small children, the pregnant women, they've allowed them to cross over. And I think only they have families who can accept them. So at least there's a little bit of hope, right? And some of these people, they were saying that they've traveled through 11 countries to get here. Can you imagine how crazy it is to want to seek better life, and you have to go through this hell and high water to be so close? Like, you can literally see the line, but then they are whipping you out and go back where you came from. You don't belong here. Like, being treated less than human.
And speaking of less than human, it's so crazy because a video of our dear vice president surfaced as well. And where she talked about before, it was something that happened before, and she said, like, if someone is at the border and you whip them, you beat them, that's inhumane.
Mm-hmm.
But then, recently, the same woman said, do not come. We will send you back.
What?
Do not.
Who's that woman?
Somebody named that, it rhymes with Paris. You know.
Really? You're gonna send me on that goose chase? It rhymes with Paris?
It rhymes with Paris. I shall not name no names. Tamala. Paris.
Wait, Kamala or Tamala?
I'm gonna call her Tamala. She a hot tamale. She flips, you know.
E pa pou moun sa yo tout a isi ta va chercher voter, hein? I kon judge, même bo administration nan den.
I feel like I don't even know how to feel anymore. It's just like in just 1 year alone, starting from way back then, but you have the assassination, and then you have the earthquake, then you have the hurricane, then you have this. Before the end of the year, God forbid, I hope there's nothing else, but it might be. And it's just like, at this point, my thing is, the Haitian people, Haiti itself, needs to understand is really nobody in our corner. The only person that can rebuild Haiti is its own people.
It's his own people. That lady, Sunny, from The View, she said exactly that. She said that the Haitians are not getting any help because they are Haitian. If there were some other group, you can bet the situation would have been different. It would have been handled with definitely more humane care. She's not Haitian. I think her name is Sonny Hostin. Her husband, Emmanuel, is Haitian. So that sits with her. And she was basically just saying, like, she's been to Haiti. She knows there are great people. She knows the country is beautiful. She knows that we have so much pride and so much strength to do all of these and beyond. But right now, the situation in Texas, we're only not getting help because we are Haitians. So we are just being demonized, dehumanized, all of it, simply because we were the first free Black republic and we are still paying for it till this day. It's like, get over yourself. We're first, nous premier net. You can't undo that. You can't undo that. We took our liberty, we took our freedom. It took the US 58 years to even try to recognize that. And I think they were trying to get the Dominican Republic to be like PR, where it's like a commonwealth, they could come and go as they please so that they could really handle Haiti. But then they realized it would be smarter to just buy the main lands, the main real estate section, and then rule it that way. But yet when stuff like that come in, you know we had an issue. You know we had earthquake. You know we had the assassination issue stuff going on. It makes sense for people to want to leave. I don't understand what you do not understand. If somebody said their house was on fire and they came and knocked on my door, I can't act like I didn't know your house was on fire. That's why you're probably knocking on my door.
Right.
No, but then the treatment they're getting is for nothing else. It's like sometimes people hold grudges. You just can't get over yourself. You just can't get
over. One of the biggest grudges is that Haiti was the what is it? how they call it? The primary, it's a better word for it. Like, it's like kind of like goal setter, like the trendsetter.
Pioneers.
Yes, to gain their independence. So, like as a first free, so they're the ones that were the first people to say, you know what, this slavery stuff ain't for me. You ain't about to come to my country and start to think that, okay, you know what, let's just, these people are just going to be slaves and this, that, and the third. No, they said, no, forget this. And I think like it's been that for like especially America.
Yeah, but part of the problem too is they see how you're treating your own kind, or they paint this picture to show that we're treating our own kind badly when it's really them who's paying the other to like do that. So that way they're the middleman who's not really involved. So it looks like, it's just us doing all this ugliness to ourselves again. But I think the reality is, you see there's some like the five main families who's, I guess, kind of like running Haiti, the Baggios, BGO, I think there's a big group of them that probably wanted to turn the country like Dominican Republic, whereas there's more light-skinned people versus dark-skinned, so they're trying to find ways to get rid of us. I don't know. It feels like it's a theory, but I could have sworn there's been like messages like that across. So the only way to really make it happen is to, I don't know, get gangs involved. You get gangs involved, the diaspora is not going to come in. Because every time we would want to go into invest back and do real estate and do investing back into our country, they scare us off. You know how many people would love to be in Haiti right now, but the only concern is, they're kidnapping. Yep, kidnap him. Yep, 2 years. You know what that's the only fear. I never hear about, Haiti's not a beautiful place to go. The main fear is
right. Before anything.
And then the banks down there are owned by the bourgeois. So if you met a $10,000, they're already gonna know the money belongs to you. All they have to do is make a call. Hey, this person got $10,000 in the bank and they're just taking it out, follow them. That's how they operate. They won't let you. It's not like, you have a car, I have a car. This is so cool. The whole neighborhood people got cars. Oh, look at this. This is a hot neighbor. Not hot neighborhood. It's gonna be like, no, only I can own a car. You get a bicycle. So because I don't know a layman term to put it. It's just so crazy how they cannot share.
They can't.
For the country to have so much resources, so much things, and a lot of diasporas out of the country, this is unacceptable to me.
It is. It is, but unfortunately, the only thing would be like I think of I look at sometimes I just close my eyes and imagine just like seeing people working, like if it's just the Delma section, if it's just the Quadebuque section, if it's just the Pitchovin section, but everyone is just like you create jobs for these people. And then like, you know, the diaspora comes out there, you create jobs for these people. That way they still get to feed their families. But then these type of jobs is like, okay, we're constructing the roads again because we have a lot of masa. We have a lot of carpet. We have a lot of these people where we can build buildings and everything like that. And these people can put hands. So basically you're working to build your country, but you still make the money to feed your family at the same time. Like if Haiti could have, if we could, I imagine that all the time, but I'm like, how do you start something where you have all these elites just, if you come in with an idea, before you know it, we'll kidnap you, do it. Let's do it.
Exactly. The problem with this kind of thing is there's always a mold. There's always that one person who gets paid to come undo things. Because look at the whole Jovenel situation itself. Like he had this PM, Prime Minister, Aya Only, provided him with that position. And now everything is surrounding or is being turned on that he was the main culprit
in the
assassination.
Which I wouldn't put it past him because he was set to be taken out of office.
Exactly. So they spent about $50 million to even give Jovenel the president's spot. Then they spent another 40 to get rid of him. That's $90 million. We could have done so much good. That's the thing that's killing me.
Do you know where Haiti would be right now with $90 million?
Girl.
And the crazy thing is, Haiti's not put. Well, let me. There's money in Haiti. It's just not being put to the use it's supposed to be, and that's the problem.
Of course, the problem is we can all see what the problem is. It's like why we cannot come with the solution is the issue. Because most Haitians, they only see themselves, if it's going to benefit themselves, if they're going to get the titleship, if they're going to get the props, if they're going to, you know, I think that's what's happening right now. Because just with the Texas situation alone, and I'm sitting here like, where are all of our Haitian council members that we all voted for in different states and different counties? Why they're not doing some kind of a rally and come together, all the people from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Texas, wherever there's a Haitian person that is in an office of the government, why they're not doing that kind of a rally and coming together and see how they can support those people out there. But they can do it to throw parties, throw events, flag raising events. You want to raise your flag, now raise your people, not just the flag.
I want a better Haiti, y'all. Like I really do. I dream of a better Haiti all the time. Like I dream of being in Jacmel, drinking coconut by the water. I dream of literally being up at 3 a.m. and going to Port-au-Prince to the Carnival or something. I like listen, like Martin Luther King, I have a dream, okay?
Girl, push for your dream, because right now we do want the millennials to step up. We do want to have conversations like this so people can hear what's happening. Maybe a lot of people, they're not in tune to the Haitian community like that. They might not even know something's happening in Texas. Because I know sometimes when stuff is happening the other way around, if somebody don't forward it to me, I don't know. Like for instance, the 22-year-old Gabby that I hear went on a trip with her boyfriend, wind up being missing. I'm like, this kind of news would never come my way. Somebody had to forward it to me. I don't know if you heard about that.
I didn't hear that either. That's how I know.
And that's big news. That's major news. I mean, God bless her and rest her soul. May she rest in peace. But that was a shocker, you know, like you just go on a road trip and then you.
Where's the boyfriend?
The major suspect in the crime. Yeah, he did not report her missing until I guess about 2 weeks after he came back. And the police didn't even start looking through things in his house until what, last Monday? No,
is he white?
Monday, because a body popped up. They found a body.
Is he white?
And I'm like, yeah.
Is she black?
Huh?
She black?
No. It's two white. They both white. Young. But I said, right.
No, what about those two kids? Well, since we're so on these topics, it's like a quick pointer. Those two kids that were about to shoot up that school, they were like, what, 14 years old? And
the world.
And then the mother's just like, my son is a sweetheart. He would. Lady, what? So he has all these guns for nothing?
Right. Right. Mom's be in denial.
Anyways, so yep, just like, you know, our government being in denial, but I need them to hurry up and figure out what they need to do with these prime minister of ours, because
well, that's the thing. I think we're giving them too much power by letting them call the shots. It's like, okay, we in the diaspora, we are a little bit smarter now to know how things really run. We can mobilize the people and do stuff, but I guess right now we can't go to Haiti itself to actually make it happen. My main problem is, like, as you were talking about Jacquemin, the whole tourism section is stolen to just Labadi. Like, they just sold that, well, rented that section off, I guess, until the year 2050. And then that's where everybody gets on a boat to go. Nobody will say, like, oh, let me go on a cruise to Jacquemin. And no boat coming that way. They all, the major shit. I mean, it costs at least $1,000 per person to get on a cruise, right? Depending on how many days you're doing, etc. So all of those people, the boats come in and pack to Labadi. I know, because I went. And that's where, you know, all the money's staying. So the money's not really trickling down to the other side of town. So nobody gets to share the wealth. So I think if the diasporas really want to see a nice Jacquemin, hello, let's go build some hotels. Okay, let's go build some nice rental stuff and make it happen, and the people will come. Let's make Haiti safe again. Should be the new slogan. Make Haiti safe.
For that, they would have to they'll have to get rid of those gangs. Like, they really would. For that, they will have to get rid of those gangs.
I don't know how they're gonna get rid of the gangs when the gangs are the ones spreading the lies for us, saying that Haiti's horrible. The gangs they're not just gangs, they working.
I know. So that's the thing. I wonder if we were able, like, for example, if we had, you know how those people put their money to bad use, like the elites. I wonder if we had, you know, the goodies. We have the elites, and then we have the goodies, and then we had those people, and then we'll be the one to, you know what, we'll fund you to protect the country.
Right. Oh, girl. Yes.
We'll fund you to protect the country. We'll make sure you get a check every month. Like, we'll make sure, like, to protect the town, to protect the country. Make sure that the towns is safe and everything like that. Don't rape your women. Make sure your women gets home safe.
Right.
Like,
I love it.
Like, stuff like that. At this point, like, I'm really thinking, like, what if we could have just one group that, you know what, we're gonna fund to make Haiti better. But if the gangs are the problem, then we have to attack the gangs. What? Counterattack. If they get the money for bad things, how about we double the money for you, but for you to do good things? Can you do that? But
I want to bet the other guys will be like, well, I'm gonna triple it. You go ahead and scare the jits out of them. Like, they will always counter it, because I think people are just simply evil. Like, that really sits in their hearts.
Right. No, but then I also think about most of these gangs, like if you go to Village de Dieu, right? Most of these gangs, you have a lot of young kids like my brother, like 20, 15, 14 years old with big Uzis and everything like that in their hands. And they're the one that, like, when you think you see a gang, you think it's these big dudes and stuff like that. And it's really just young teens that, you know, were in the streets, and then they see that and that's their way to eat. And then they're like, you know what? I have to eat. So they'd rather choose that than starve to death. So my thing is, if we create that environment where it's like, you know what, you don't have to resort to bad things to eat. You can eat, but doing good things. I wonder what, or is it just because you know some people are mentally, so now it's like, now is it your mental that's making you do these things, or is it the money now? Like, can I separate like, that's, I don't know if you,
we don't know, because we don't have enough psychologists in Haiti either to help people if they were to have mental breakdowns, mental issues, mental whatever. We don't have people who work with those kind of people in the country. It's very limited, it's very set, and the little groups that can do something is far and few. So like this area may get something, but it's not enough to really even cover the area, to bring the area up so that they could spread out to other areas. So you have a little bit here, a little bit there, and it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's like rain falling over here and over there, but it's not going to give you enough crops. You kind of need the rain on a good, even level for you to get a good amount of crops to be like, okay, we can go sell these. So it's the same way, like you have bits and pieces and you can't pull the whole puzzle together. So I don't know how Haitians all have this great idea. Like you talk to any Haitian, they're going to talk just like you're talking right now. I've spoken with so many that'll be like, oh my gosh, we need to do something. We got to do something. And if you were to take all of them together, you have a good couple of thousands. So can we get those thousands to embark on something? That's where the problem would come on. Because if those thousands have their own families or their own organizations or their own whatever, it's going to be like another fight to see who's going to take the lead to actually run the show and go with the plan. That's another area where we're not united at all. And I've seen it so many times just with working in different cities when we were doing like little events. I'm concerned about the program we're putting out there, right? Like the kids are performing, they're celebrating their Haitian heritage, you know, we all, but in the background, politics is running. And it's like, oh, y'all missing the whole point, right? Because it's definitely a big power struggle. It's a power struggle going on. And at the end of the day, I'm like, why can't we share? You have a house, I have a house. What's wrong with that picture? We're both happy. If I have my own house, you should be happy because that means I won't be coming to your house. Because if I don't have a place to stay, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to knock on your door. Excuse me, Miss Lady D. Can I get some water? Or since you have a house, you know what it's like. You could be like, oh, bon fè monsieur mieux al di yon tout pour qu'on y a ka gen yon well prendre l'eau pas de faire pas encore. Right? But it's
you give a man a fish. You give a man a fish. What is it? How the saying go?
Feed a man
give a man a fish once. You
teach him how to fish.
Yeah, you feed him for a lifetime. Like that would be a great way to, you know, but you're right. Again, like this power struggle of, you know, who's gonna be leading and stuff. Because honestly, if we look at the diaspora here, we do have a lot of people like myself, me, you, Papa Doc. We have a lot of all these people in America. Listen, I can provide my services. I'm not rich, but I can definitely, like whatever it is that we have to pitch in to make it happen. You know, like I feel like we could, because imagine if 1,000 diaspora, there's no hotel. You mean to tell me they're gonna kill all of us?
Right. Hello.
They're gonna kill one of us. Matter of fact, we even go down with like American security. They're gonna kill all of us.
Right.
All at the same time, we all go down like in just at this. You have to be on some real like to do that. But that's what I'm saying. Like I think of things like this. Like if we all went down at the same time, would it be the same thing? Like versus when people go individually and they're just like, you know, like, you know, just let me just give this little
individual people that's getting affected. A lot of it is people sell people out. You know, they threaten you. They know what you're planning on doing and they want it stopped. That's the whole thing. We can't have order. If we have order, it's gonna be a bad thing. We like being called, I guess, less than. And the country, I guess, if you want to look at it from a logical sense, it would probably be the fact that the people who were like the middle class, they left the country. They had to leave because now they got too smart. They can't stay. The other little ones who was not as broke, but not close to middle class either, they just hopped on to the other side to DR.
Right.
The country's basically left with, I don't know, leftovers. And that's how probably the other people were able to come in, because the smart ones left. The other ones was running the show. Somebody else can be like, hey, what a nice little island. Let me give you some shiny pennies for it, okay? And you don't know. You'd be like, oh, shiny pennies look good. My people's going to be proud of me. I'm bringing shiny pennies. Next thing you know, you get the shiny pennies and they get in paper, because now they get to bring people by the boats to just come look at your island. There's really nothing to do at Labadie but come and look. And a boatload of money come in just to come and look. Because it's like, oh, look at this little tiny paradise. Nobody's going to bother me. Here I am at peace. It's tranquil. It's, oh, la vida. And that's it. And then you get back on the boat and you're out. How long do you think the boats pull into the ports? They don't stay out there that long. And you can't leave the island to really go anywhere. So that's a lot of money coming in. Somebody got really smart. And I'm like, all we had to do was imitate that on another side and do the same thing. We could have done it at Oka. We could have done it at Jacmel. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we already rented that. We made a mistake by giving them the shiny penny. So let's go over there and duplicate what they have over there. Right? If we can't afford it, you get with your allies and be like, hey, listen, you got $20 for a boat. I'm sure $20. And then you call, you got $10 for the boat. Lady D's giving me 20 and I'm only short 10. And you know, like that, you make it, I mean, I guess it sounds easier said
when you say it versus when you're doing it.
Yeah, because I heard today, was it today? There's a fire that broke out in Tigua. Right? Tigua, like, I guess the people, you know, we don't have electricity, so they're selling gas. So some of the people who were selling gas, something happened and the thing just blew up. And it just messed up a couple of houses down the block. And it was so sad to watch the people at Tiboki Loyo barely have water. Now they have to put out a fire. And it's like, why the country doesn't have firefighters? I think we're just not ready for disasters. We're not ready. And even all the Haitians on the Texas border, it's like, we're just standing there watching, sharing files, making comments at other people's posts. But no, to me, nobody's really doing anything. And that even includes myself, because I'm not in Texas right now.
Right.
I don't even know who I can be like, listen, what you need? You want to come stay here for a couple of days? I mean, people don't have papers. It's a mess. It's really bad. And I'm thinking, like, you know how many Haitian lawyers we got? And they're going to do some pro bono work over there and, you know, try to see how they can help these people who don't have papers.
Ooh. Sorry, y'all. It's my I think it's the lashes. Don't get lashes, guys.
Wait.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, but like, really though, you know, it's like the Biden administration right now is just very disappointing. And this is why, like, when every time they're doing these things about votes, go vote, it's like, did y'all get your promises on paper first? I'll give you 100 people to come vote for you if you tell me A, B, C, and D is gonna be achieved.
Right.
But no, these Haitians, ooh, Biden, the Biden.
Why she look like that? Why
you know, now it's like, Biden, I took title 42. Yeah.
Gade, wè pou biden, kata pou biden sa o, gade, kita biden a tamala an repotande, paske moun sa yo pa pou peyi avre, ou kompren, moun sa yo se, yo vin fè politiko.
Oh,
paske, pou sa mwen moun Haiti a pase nan Texas konya, baladen balakol like ou baka di m kon sa pou même que ou gon son encore imagine si ça était petit imagine si ça était ou même ko pa noir I understand but like imagine si était ou même Like, si ete petit tout, t'as passé dans route ça. Imagine un petit moun 13 ans. Imagine si ete petit tout, t'es 13 ans, qu'a passé dans route là, and then y a touché, like, you like, innocent, petit moun innocent. And ou a batton, on moun imagine si ete fort, ete papa. Like, y a battu comme ça, and then pour qui ça tout en ça, like, what is it, they call it, hen? Pour ça, like, tout, like, mentalité ça tellement sale à comprendre, like, oh.
Manque de compassion, yeah. You know, they lack compassion and they don't understand what it means to be humans and have humanitarian care. Like, I've done a lot of missions, humanitarian missions, if you want to call it that, where you see what you see on the news, you see what you see on people's posts, whatever the media is actually showing you, is a complete different story when you are actually the boots on the ground, when you are actually at the actual place witnessing everything that's happening. You're not ever going to listen to the news, because that is, they send you the news to, I guess, work with your emotions, get you on the emotion. Either if they want to show rage, they're going to find the right picture that's going to make sure that's the emotion that comes out. If they want to make it look like there's compassion, they're going to show you the right picture. So when you see those media stuff that's showing you things the way that they are, you still have to, like, balance yourself, because once you are on the actual ground and doing things, you'll see it's a different picture. It's a different picture, because once you're on the ground, you really just want to focus about helping. I heard from Guy Wewe's live that he himself said some media people just came, took pictures and left. Nobody stood around to do anything. Nobody else is camping out to see what's going to happen the next day. They just all came, click, 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 took off. Nobody brought anything, no food, no whatever. So, of course, that's from his side. That's what I'm hearing. But, you know, but they all the medias we're seeing, they don't feeding them out, though. So, back to your point, it's really, if you have blood going through your vein, this should affect you, because it's not humane treatment. It's not how anybody would want to be treated. You know, let them know where.
Got it. Papa So imagine no pour whip. On whip bagay yo bat bet oui kounya la pour prêter moun pour bat moun navel ou dit depuis sou whip là pour en di moun là ou pas humain.
Pourquoi pour moi kounya vous voulez me penser que vous respectez moi là?
Respecter qui ça?
That's you looking at me lesbian.
Ah.
Mon cher, you know what? We have to follow up on this. We're going to have to do another session where we find out
part two
to find out what happens to the people under the bridge, because I know they have to go to Del Rio, go through the Houston airport. I don't think there's an airport in Del Rio. So things is a little complicated out there. So we going to pray for them and hope that things turn around. Maybe Sinubal Biden, I say heat, you know, something might work out, because all they're saying is, oh, yeah, this is inhumane. Do something about it.
Right.
But anyways, hopefully the Mexican brothers I don't think they're really harassing them on their end. It's the U.S. that doesn't want them to cross over. That's where all the issues is coming up. So on our part 2, we'll have to bring some updates and hopefully some happy ending stories. Maybe some people reuniting with their families. And hopefully none of these mothers, I pray, have a miscarriage through all this, you know, drama happening. So,
girl,
today is the first day of fall. So we're going to take that as positivity.
Listen here, when you're fall, baby, one problem, okay? C'est fall, s'il vous plaît.
Ou m'fait fini quitter le pour.
Gade, it's okay, because nous c'est moun k'ap fini aller à pour, parce que gade, bon me prendre te pas camper devant fall. Fall bon joli bon cool, li bon mood yo. All the holidays starts in the fall and then they finish in the winter. So therefore, gade, we the trendsetter, okay?
I'm all about the sun, okay? I'm all about the sun.
I know, chalet at all good.
Chalet? Who fait vivre ça money?
Ou de white ou vin noir? Déjà ba vin noir comme ça,
gade yo ba ou pour sunscreen nan.
Oh non, but sunscreen no, bon vitamin D,
Okay, so this was our show. I'm not gonna go to Lady Deep Valley, but yeah. So come back. Let's bring it back. So guys, please let me know if you know anybody out there. Like, do any of you guys have families maybe that got stuck out there? Like, I don't know if you've been seeing pictures or if you know of somebody who knows somebody that was from over there. That would be really good to know, like, you know, your feel on this too, what you think about the whole treatment of the Haitians out there. What does that make you feel as a Haitian person yourself, as of Haitian descent, or maybe you're married into a Haitian family or you have Haitian friends? What are you doing right now to probably support what's happening? Like, are you, I don't know, calling them or checking in on them or agreeing with the fact that this is not how you humans should live? Let us know. Let us know. Give us your feedback and thoughts. Lady D, any thoughts? Final thoughts?
I'm actually quiet for this one. I'm waiting for part 2. Because what I have to say, I'll say it in part 2. So that means you have to come back to listen to part 2. That's my final thought.
You heard it from her mouth yourself. So make sure you come back for part 2 just to hear her thought. And I did find the doctor that I wanted to give the shout out to. His name was Dr. Dove. I would give away Dr. Dove, Dove Medical Center. So I want to give them a shout out for going out there and helping some of these people get tickets to go be reunited with their families.
Wait, what's that thing? Linya fella first?
So thank you guys for that. And we'll see you on part 2.
Bye!
Bye, guys.